Hello, my fellow pod pilots of New Eden. My name is Eddie Rio, and this is PvP RoamAntics, episode 6. Can't quite believe I've done 6 of these already. Just shows how much I'm really enjoying the PvP in EvE at the moment. So let's get started. I've got a great little fight to begin with here. A bit of dual squad PvP. I'm with a good friend of mine, Tabs, and we've both got armor repping stabber fleet issues, and they've primaried him first. So it's 2 Cinnables against 2 stabbers, and we're just going for it. They're going straight in close to us as well, so it's just who's got the best tank and who can out DPS each other at the moment. So as I'm getting to work on the drones there, a stealth bomber uncloaks and comes right inside my scram range, so it's very easy to dispatch of him quite quickly. Why he came in so close, why he felt the need to do that, I don't know. But if we hadn't have killed him, I think that would have put too much pressure on Tabs' tank, and we probably would have ended up with Tabs dying right about now. So it's a good job that we got rid of him quickly. So I get back to work on the drones again. I think, you know, mitigate as much DPS, and then I think I've popped a few of their drones. They start popping ECM drones, which obviously isn't very good, and Tabs could lose his point. So I've also pointed the primary target, so we've both got point on him. I think I yell at Tabs to grab point on the other Cinnaball, just so if because they're targeting him, their ECM drones are on him, so if his point's coming on and off, at least I've got the main guy that we're shooting at the moment. Now I'm going to bring up Tabs's watch list bar a little bit closer now, because it starts getting intense, and I think Tabs goes a bit quiet at this point as well. He's really focusing on what he's doing. I'm trying to keep calm and keep popping those ECM drones. I think he's also been ECM'd, so he can't lock anything at the moment. And we're just battling to try and get rid of this Cinnaball before Tabs end up dying. As you can see, he's just slipped into like a quarter hull, and I think he's overloading his reps. You know, he's screaming at each other. We're trying to get this guy down. We want him dead, but we're still trying to keep focused on what we're doing at the same time. I think Tabs has repped himself so hard up there that he's also burnt out his reppers at that point. So he's pretty much, he can't get any more reps off, but we've managed to nail that Cinnaball and then swap over to the other Cinnaball just in time before Tabs is going to die. At this point he's still taking DPS from that other Cinnaball, and just watch his tank now. It's at this point that I realise he's pointing me, he's not pointing Tabs. So I start yelling at Tabs to just get out of there. Look how much hull he's got left. He must have like 5% hull. I'm just screaming at him to warp out now, and he's realised that he's not pointed and he can warp out, and I'll try and finish this Cinnaball off on my own. Look at that for an exit, warping out in 5% hull after you've just killed a Cinnaball. It was just amazing. I think Tabs must have just been so happy and looking at his screen. I think he took a screenshot of it as well, and oh, it was just an amazing little fight. Unfortunately, this guy managed to get back to the gate, de-aggro, and jump out just before we could kill him, which was gutting, but still an amazing fight. And they both put good fight in local, which, you know, I always respect, and I think it's worth doing after a good fight like that. Now on to another great fight. I'm in the stabber still. I'm solo this time, and I've spotted a Caracal Navy issue and also a Vexor. Managed to split up and lose the Vexor for a little bit, but I know he is coming imminently, so I've aggressed this Caracal, so none of us have GCC'd on him because he was red already, so it's no gate guns here. And my aim at this point is to keep my armor right up as full as possible, because I know that this Vexor is going to come in any minute and also start applying DPS, so I want to have the healthiest tank that I possibly can before he starts to come in. This Caracal is dropping easy, it's not a problem at all. I'm really happy with the speed that he's dying at. I'm not really having to think too much, just get him dropped. Look, as he starts entering armor and dropping into hull, then the Vexor appears. It's like perfect timing, isn't it? One drops down, the other one comes in, coming in dribs and drabs. Absolutely perfect. So I'm ready to start approaching this Vexor as soon as the Caracal's died and swap over to him. So this Vexor has GCC'd to aggress me, so he is also under gate gunfire, and I've got to say this pilot is pretty good and he's fit his ship up rather well. He's got an awesome tank and he's neuting the hell out of me. He's got some serious DPS from his drones on me, and I'm really starting to struggle. I'm finding this Vexor a lot more of a challenge than the Caracal Navy issue is, especially because I've got an active tank. I'm trying to manage my cap. He's neuting me. He's got DPS on me. Even though he's under gate gunfire, he is still doing really well, and I was really impressed with this guy's fit, which I will be looking at once he died. I'm just thinking now, actually, if I aggressed the Vexor first, which almost happened in sort of splitting the two up, I probably would have died, because this Vexor would have held on for a lot longer, and then the Caracal Navy issue would have come in, and I would have had both their DPS and the newts to deal with. So it's a good job that I tackled them in this order. But yeah, I start trying to pop his drones with my drones, but every time I pop a drone, he pops another one out. He's got plenty in reserve. That's kind of frustrating me. I don't know whether I should just keep the DPS straight up on his ship and not worry about trying to pop the drones if he's just going to keep popping them and he's got a lot in his cargo. Also, something that's floating around in the back of my head is these guys are in the militia, and they've got lots of help channels. They can call people in at any time. I see a local move up by 1 and 2, and I think, you know, something else could come in a minute, so I'm just focused on trying to get this guy killed and then get the hell out of there. As you can see now, he's starting to enter Hull. This is it. This is the moment where the game all changes and I get the kill. So Caracal Navy issue and a Vexor down. More than happy with that. I go to start having a little look at some loot, and a crucifier lands near, and then also we've got a Drake coming in. At this point I'm just like, I contemplated, should I go for the Drake if he's going to GCC on me, but I just thought, nah, I'm going to get out of there, I'm going to rep up, and then I'm going to go and have a look to see if he's still around, which by that time he hadn't. He'd moved around and he was in part of a bigger fleet again in the system next door, so it was probably good I didn't engage. So this is a little bit later on now. I've seen an Omen Navy issue on scan. He's doing a sight. I think, right, I'm going to jump in and go for it. I managed to catch him. He sort of aggresses me first, so he's up for the fight. He knows that I'm in local. He's obviously hit scan and seen me there, and he's hanging around and waiting for me. He didn't run out as soon as I jumped into the Plex. Now, he doesn't point me in this whole fight, so at any point I could warp out, and he doesn't even start to hit me after a while. I think I get a tight orbit on him. I start afterburning around him, and he just can't hit me. He switches his guns to try and then start hitting my drones. They don't hit the drones, so there's just no DPS coming out of him at all, which I don't know if it was because he was a low-skilled pilot or because the lasers that he's got fitted just don't do any damage to me. Maybe they're the long-range ones. And that's just, you know, it was just a really easy kill. I just had to sit there and keep orbiting him, which is a little bit boring to watch, but it's a pretty standard kill in EvE, and you take what you can when you can get it. So it gives me a little bit of time to talk about some other things maybe. Really enjoying putting these sort of RoamAntics video on my channel. I've been thinking about doing a few other little things. I'm working on a couple sort of music based stuff to do with EvE at the moment as well, which might go up on my channel in a while. I've also set up streaming, so I could do some streaming. I don't know whether you guys would be interested in that. I don't think I'd be able to do it too often, maybe once a week, once a fortnight maybe. I'd be able to have perhaps a little roam and stream it at the same time. I don't know if you'd prefer a bit of solo, or if I'd get a couple of other people to join in with me, but that's a little option. If you'd be interested in seeing something like that, hit me up with a comment. That would be really good. I'd also just like to mention the one-man crew competition, the kind of solo PvP video that Aldap and a few other people are putting together, and you can sort of submit one of your favourite fights that you've had, and hopefully, you know, they might choose that to go in a big video that they're making, sort of promoting solo PvP, and you can win prizes and things like that. So check that out on the forums. I think it's really worth entering. I'm going to enter a little fight. You know, it probably won't make it into the video, but I think it's worth entering to support it as well, and you never know, you might just make it into the video and win a load of ISK. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Got a few nice little kills in there, a few exhilarating moments, which is what it's all about. Please don't forget to smack a like and a comment, because I really enjoy reading what you've got to say, and little tips and things that help me out in the future and make me a better pilot. And if this is the first RoamAntics episode that you've seen, there's 5 more before it, and if you click on the link there, it will take you to the playlist where you can watch the other 5. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm really enjoying making these at the moment, and take it easy till next time. Fly safe.